You're looking at the transmission end of the shifter cable. That is the brace that holds it on. That is the junky repair somebody did years ago. And in the engine, in the in the interior, this is the other end. This is held on to the transmission with 2 bolts that go in there. And now what we're going to do is pry this loose, feed the cable that way, and we can continue with the installation. So how do you get that cable retainer off? That's what we did. Vice grips, and then pry the nose of the vice grips. That gets it spread. And now the first thing you do once you get these things out is you compare the length, because cables come in different lengths, and you gotta check. This one is a match. Now we get to pry apart this retainer, which is a whole lot easier because we've got a vise to work with. So there's your new cable. To reattach this, just vice grips, squeezes easy. The installation there. Now we'll run all that stuff back in and coax it back into its pocket. And we're doing this before we make the attachment down the transmission. A note on the reassembly. I was having trouble getting the nose back up in here. So if you loosen those 2 right there, that'll give you enough compliance so you can swing the end over and finish the installation of the push buttons. One of those tricks I'm sure I'll forget. So in the transmission there is a plug that you remove so that you can release the spring that holds the cable. We didn't have a plug. I had this thing, which initially I thought, well, maybe somebody lost the plug and just made up something. But then Jamie was saying, well, you know, with this slot in here, maybe the idea is when you have this installed, you just screw the shaft down, and this end bumps the spring and releases the cable. Heck of a good idea, maybe. So, the manual says, this is the D manual, page 32, the gear shift control adjustment, and it says you take out the neutral switch. Well, the idea is that you want to get the new cable to grab the spring and the receiving end, and that the spring catches. So we thought, well, rather than just take out the neutral safety switch, let's just see if it won't grab by sticking it in there. So we stuck it in and it grabbed. So we never had to take the neutral safety switch out, which was, you know, one less thing. Then the next thing is to move the cable back and forth until you get the neutral safety switch to catch. And we moved it, it didn't work, it moved it, didn't work, it didn't work, it didn't work, it moved it, didn't work. Until Jamie had the idea, just turn the key on and he'll move the cable until it cranks. And that's the point. So when you do it backwards, it sometimes works.